Hello and welcome to SimPlay Motorsport. We are back for our halfway stage of the season. It is Monza here this afternoon for the second of the reverse grid races in the season. Back to back as well, because we head to Alton Park next week for our third and penultimate reverse grid race of the year. There's one a little later on in the season as well. But welcome, I'm Mathew Duffin, joined on my own tonight. No Tanner Kneebone at the minute, struggling with a migraine. Tanner, if you are listening, hopefully you're feeling better soon, buddy. And yes, Tanner Kneebone just struggling with a migraine. So I am flying solo tonight in this one on what is an absolute scorcher of an evening here in the UK. Once again, 34 it's saying currently in the studio. And it is a very, very hot day. But it is Monza, the Temple of Speed here for Italy for week number 5, in the Championship. And the Championship is looking mighty interesting. Marinic is on 385 points, 15 clear of Milliston. Vitas is in third on 363, so only 22 behind. Klass is on 351 from St. Ludovic, who's on 350. Pletisek is on 326 from Mackenzie on 305. Richie Michel is on 278 with Dan Davis 265. Dan, if you're listening as well, hopefully you're enjoying Goodwood. Patrick Leger is P10 on 247. His teammate Michael Harris on 241. Overtaker and Sokolov tied 12th and 13th on 240, with Mike Matthews on 238. Alexandrinov 210 from Ian McGowan 188. Amigenda on 104 from Sots on 103. Then it's Williams, Rook and Ollie France in the platinum standings. In that of the Gold Championship, it is even closer. Tom Cardno leads by 2 points from John Goudet. From then that of... as I'm trying to find somebody else on track, and they're all going out to do more, coming into the pits. Then it's Jimenez, only 22 points behind. Matt Wright is then in 4th place. He's only 27 points behind Cardno. Hibbs a point behind him. Sam Williams is P6, a little off the back. Then Piras, Herendich, Prestige from Varga, Maiga, DeCourt, Vasic, Catini, Leach, Ramsell and Gillies. And in the Teams Championship, after the points are now worked out correctly, BSHOZ Racing are well clear of Team GBR at this moment in time, 711 to 577, so a big gap there. But then it tightens up. Greasy Bandits Racing are just off the back of Team GBR. Team SBR are a little bit further back from Greasy Bandits Racing. SimPlay Racing are only 48 points behind them. Richie's Corsa are only 26 behind SimPlay Racing. Then it's again another drop to 4 Dave Racing with Balkan Esports, Balkan Sim, Quantum Motorsport rounding out the top 10. Sleepy Lizard from MSA Racing, MMS Racing, BSH Spinners, BAL Racing and Road Runner Motors out there in this current session. We say good evening in the chat to a fair few faces out there as well. Good evening to that of Hulk in the chat. Jose Wen's in there as well. Yoshi, good evening to you. Sam Williams, good evening. Sammy couldn't make it tonight. Evening, Matt. Let's hope it's a clean one, says Sam Greaves. Indeed. Good evening to Gordon, Arctic Fox. Hope you're doing well. Beefy isn't racing. Apparently your mum's called him away on chores. And Rob Smith, good evening to you, sir, as well. Right, let's get you over to the racing action live on screen, as I was busy changing drivers, forgetting that I didn't actually need to. So we're live on screen now. You can see that at the moment it's Milliston from Klass, Sokolov, Marinic, Alexandrov, Matt Wright doing well in the gold class from Richie Michel, Harris, Matthews, Pletzek, Vitas, Cardno, Hibbs, Maiga, Varga, Prestige, Williams, Piras, DeCourt, Mackenzie, all in there. Oh, Gordon could be in trouble then now. Gordon could be in trouble. That's the message I got told from him. Well done, by the way, Ramsey, the other night. Obviously, we're sponsoring Ramsey throughout the championship here to Racing the League by Fox Tech, as SimPlay Motorsport's his main big sponsor, who is partnering him in the League by Fox Tech. A good result for him the other night in a series that I'm commentating. Good evening to Neil Broom as well. Hope we're all doing very, very well on this fine Thursday evening, halfway stage of the season. Obviously, we've got our finale of the Endurance Championship coming your way on Saturday. We have LMU at its penultimate round of the season on Tuesday as well, in which is looking to be a spicy end to that championship. And yeah, what a season ACC has brought everybody this season so far, halfway through. 5 more weeks to go after this, and the Snot Rocket is out on circuit again here at this moment in time. So yeah, looking good so far in this one. 23 drivers we're expecting. There's 3 drivers not yet out there on the track, so we are expecting 3 more to arrive in this race. But there is a few missing tonight, so shame to not have as big a pro grid, but we're at the halfway stage and we know what pro can be like at times. It does have a normal drop-off, and let's hope this isn't the start of it. Let's hope everybody's just busy and we get back to a good size grid. I mean, 20 is still a good grid, but let's get back into that late 20s, touching 30 cars on the grid for next week. That'd be fantastic to see. Good evening to Peaceful Stepdad in the chat as well. Right. Fury's granddad as well. England 120 for 1 after 10 overs, need 39 to win. Great to hear, Tony. In the chat, I don't mean England win the series against India. 27 seconds left of free practice before we head into the first of them 2 races tonight. The 15-minute sprint race coming your way, which will then obviously be followed by that of the 1-hour feature race, with the qualifying session being done for that 1-hour feature race. Obviously, we'll take a break in the middle of this after the first race to just grab a few refreshments and be ready to go for race 2. The MC Pro in the chat, which do you think has had better battles this season, LMU or ACC SimPlay races? That is a really good and tough question, and I wish Tanner was here to actually answer that one with me. I think ACC has. Good evening, John, who's obviously a bit disappointed, forgot to press the thumbs up button to confirm for tonight's event, and with me being busy most of the day, I didn't actually notice that John hadn't confirmed until it came round to setting the grid. Yeah, that's a really good question, MC Pro. I think ACC has had better battles, just given the nature of the fact that strategy-wise, on LMU, fuel-saving-wise, we know the LMP2s can get a little spread out. And then the LMGT3s, we know sometimes do different things. I want to say ACC have had some of the best battles this season. But that's taking nothing away from the fights we've seen on LMU. I mean, some of the battles we saw on LMU this Tuesday night just gone was absolutely phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal. They was really, really good. Side by side for a lot of corners around Sebring. And it was really entertaining. I think as well, it was the closest we've seen the LMP2s all season with each other. So, yeah, that was really good for me. I think that was fantastic. So, yeah, absolutely brilliant. I think it was fantastic to see them battling it out there. Right, we're actually missing second and third on the grid here. And I can tell you second and third are. Ian McGowan is missing from the grid, as is, I believe, Alexandrov as well. So that puts Mike Matthews up into second at the start of this one. Ibtech, it's all good. My bad, just be busy at work. I would normally do it straight after race. Yeah, John, again, yeah, no worries. Drop score round, so hopefully you'll score some points and come back still fighting strong next week. It'll come, mate. Rob Smith saying that ACC Pro Am have had the best race in all season. It'll come, mate. You definitely got some pace in that. That's in this season. Yeah, great question. In fact, you know what? I think that could be worth a poll. I'm going to put a poll out on that. And I'm going to include not just ACC as a whole, but I'm going to include Pro and Pro-Am on ACC. Which has had the best battles. Let's get your guys in the viewers, in the chat, in the virtual grandstand's opinion on that one as well. What has had the best battles? Right, formation lap time. Grid order then is Williams from Mathew, Sokolov from Harris, Leger from Richie Michel, Mackenzie from Pletisek with Class from Vitas, Milliston from Marinich, DeCourt is your gold pole sitter, Gary Leach I'm not seeing out there on the grid. Alexandrov has got in, he's at the back. Gary Leach is the other driver I'm not seeing. DeCourt from Miga, Varga from Prestige, Piras from Hibbs, right card. Now, for some reason, it's put Alexandrov at the back. It's Gary Leach, the other driver, that I'm not seeing in the session at this moment in time. And normally he would have messaged me had he not been able to make it, but I haven't had a message, so I will drop him a text and just see if he's going to be here for race 2. But yeah, Pro-Am currently leading the way on that poll, by the way. So it'd be great to see your guys thoughts on that one. At Alton Park, says John. Bentley's a good car at Alton Park. Bentley's a good car at Alton Park. Really a good car. Love mine and Harris's battle at Spa. Rob Smith had to pit 4 minutes last night. So by the end of the race, with damage from being hit by a leader lapping me, I had no rear stability left. I assume, Rob Smith, that's based on the ticket. I have seen that one, and I'm not going to comment on it on here, but yeah. Evening boys, up the MMS driver, says Gareth Anderson in the chat as well. So we'll see what's had the best. And it'd be good for those who's been watching who's either been a part or watching every night of the championship so far, because for those who have, we'll have a really good insight as to what has been the best racing of the championship this season. But yeah, we'll see what happens going through the rest of today. And we'll see what happens going through the rest of the season. Rob Smith, Bentley is flat through Island Bend at Alton Park. The car maybe, but me not. That's unfortunate. I tried the GTR today. I'm a fanboy again. There we go. Maybe the GTR for Hulk in the chat. Right, race one's about to get underway though here as they're approaching the Parabolica now. And obviously we returned to Monza from being here a few weeks ago on LMU for the LMP2 ELMS and the LMGT3 Championship. So we returned back to Monza for this week. And then we've got Fuji and Portimao left, Algarve left on LMU. And we've got Alton Park, we've got Donington Park, Japan, Suzuka. Where else have we got left in the back half of the season? Zolder as well is coming up, so we'll see what they can do. But round the Parabolica they go. Neil Broom, definitely having a lot of battles with this season, mate. Keep going, that podium is waiting for you, Rob. And I tell you now, I know I missed commentary last night, but I'm kind of glad Rob didn't get that podium last night, because I want to be there for it when it is, because I want to do the interview with him. But it is round 5, or week 5, and we're about to get underway. It is green and go once again. Brandon Williams doesn't get the best of starts there. Look out for Mike Matthews, but watch crucially in the background, because that of Richie Michel looks to have a demon start. Now here comes the car I was on about for watching in the background. Michael Harris down in towards turn 1. Matthews brakes a little earlier than Brandon Williams as they all filter through. Brandon's gone deep. That could allow Mike to have a run on the outside line. Here comes Mike Matthews. Harris spun around by Richie Michel, and Mike Matthews leads this race already from the start. Further down the field, Harris still off, Matt Wright off, that's Miger rejoining, Hibbs, Cardno, and I believe Benny Varga all caught up in a moment there as they come through the first chicane. But through sector 1, it is Mike Matthews out front, and I bet nobody would have had that on their bingo card tonight as they start this race. But Mike Matthews leads here from Brandon Williams. Sokolov in 3rd. Richie Michel is 4th from Pletisek. We're just waiting for Decourt to take to the first sector. Bit of damage on the front of his car. Then it is Pletisek who'll be P5. Mackenzie is up in... he's not now because he's just lost out. Yeah, Pletisek 5th. Mackenzie is no longer 6th. That is Milliston. Then Leger, then Vitas. Vitas all over the back of Milliston at the moment. Phil Atherton missing listening to you in the box yesterday. Yeah, it was just feeling a bit under the weather due to the heat as Leger just squeezes Vitas into Ascari. Leger will keep hold of that place. What's happening to that Nissan and Mackenzie, though? Trying to hold off from Marinich. There's Piras, Miger. From Alexandrinov, who bounces over the curb. There's Hibbs, gets a little snappy out the corner. Benny Varga coming under pressure from Thomas Cardno and Class. Harris, then Prestige, Matt Wright and Decourt as well. But out front, it is that of Mike Matthews who leads the way. Brandon Williams very wide. If it wasn't for bad luck, Harris would have no luck. Indeed so. This season, it seems. Sokolov on the back of him. Here comes Richie Michel straight into the pit lane then. So Richie Michel, the first of the pit runners here. And straight in to get that stop done and make sure he can try and come out with Sokolov going side by side. Dives up the inside of Brandon Williams, misses the corner. Milliston looking around the outside of Pletisek there. Milliston gets that move done. And Mike Matthews has a comfortable lead out front at the moment. What's happening further back? Mackenzie coming under pressure now from that of Piras in the Lamborghini. Miger P11. in that Mercedes-Benz. Hibbs is around at turn 1 again. Looks like that could have been all on his own. Not sure though, because Tom Cardno is stationary. And is this Cardno waiting for Hibbs to come back through? Indeed it is. So we'll see what has happened between these battles. There's Michael Harris jumping up a fair few places due to the fact that drivers in the pits to Court, Varga, Alexandrov and Richie Michel. But Cardno and Hibbs must have come together a little bit there. Sokolov. He's now coming under pressure from Milliston. Wants to try and put that pressure back on Brandon Williams in this one. Mike Matthews, great start from him. Nobody would have bet their money on this one happening from Mike Matthews at the moment. But what a job he's doing so far. Vitas trying to hunt back down after Lejeune. McKenzie side by side with the BMW of Marinich. The Nissan should be a demon in a straight line around here. Holds that inside line going into Ascari. Marinich looks to tuck underneath that of McKenzie. Can't do so though. And it just put him offline a little bit. That's Vitas who's just gone across the gravel in front of them. And look at these four. McKenzie, Marinich, Piras and Maiga all going at it with Harris, who's now ahead of class, trying to gain on all of them in the foreground. Here goes Maiga though, up the inside of Piras into the Parabolica. There you go. Holding that tighter line through the final corner. Little bit of a snap there for Maiga. But so far so good. Marinich as well looking to try and get the up and under. He's coming into the pits, as is Maiga then. And Michael Harris now can use that straight line superior speed of the Lexus to pull away from class down here and try and get himself on the back of the others in front. Harris also sets the fastest lap of the race now. So Harris goes and does the fastest lap in this race. So already Michael Harris trying to do exactly what he needs to do in this one. Cardno stays out also. So keep your eyes on Richie Michel for the other pit runners. Back out front though, Mike leads from 1.3 to Williams, 1.7 to Pletzek. There's Leger further 2 seconds back. Not a lot happening. Bar Piras on the back of that of McKenzie at this moment in time. So then, as they try to come through and make their way through the middle sector, Sokolov has gone green. Where is Richie Michel coming round the Parabolica now? Is this going to be the opportunity for Richie Michel to jump quite a few cars down the start-finish straight? Remember, was the lead of the pit runners at the time. Sokolov has just come out the pit lane. So yes, Richie Michel gets through. Alexandrinov, where will he come out? We see him there in the background. Milliston and Marinich together. Is Alexandrinov going to get them into turn 1? Marinich didn't repair the damage. Sorry, Milliston didn't repair the damage on his car. And Alexandrinov only jumps ahead of that of Maiga. Mike being caught slowly though. At the moment, gap down a 10th through the middle sector on the cars around him. So no real fights happening out there at the moment. Maybe the Milliston-Marinich battle as the timing tower updates itself. So we'll get to see what them gaps truly look like. But this is the closest fight with Alexandrov just in behind. And Krista Court at the moment doing exactly... sorry, Krista Court who had the big damage at the start. A lap down but carrying on in this race at the moment. So then, coming through to the middle sector, Mike's opened that gap back up. Patrick Lejeune now has the fastest lap of the race. Pletisek is into the pits. So we'll keep our eyes on Richie Michel at the moment. Oh, that's Milliston and Alexandrinov. Big off for the pair of them. I think, yes, Alexandrinov has just bounced off the wall. Maiga's got through. Where's Benny Varga? He's approaching that of Alexandrinov now, who's had a big off coming through Ascari chicane. So that'll put him down the order. Right, where's Richie Michel? Pletisek has gone green. Richie Michel coming down the start-finish straight now. Wait for that P to disappear. Pletisek now off the limiter. But is he going to get as close to turn 1 to defend that inside line from Richie Michel as possible? There is Pletisek on that inside line. Manages to just fend off Richie Michel. So gets that to work nicely there for him. And Pletisek stays in front in P11. Good job from Pletisek there in this one. And Mike Matthews once again extends that gap. Matt Wright gaining on the back of class, who's got a bit of damage on his car as well. Class suffering with a bit of damage here. It just doesn't look stable or quick. You can see the front end damage, a bit on the side and the rear as well. Wouldn't surprise me if he boxes here. He doesn't. Matt Wright does, though. So Matt Wright going for that undercut over Class at the moment. Mike has 1.7 to Brandon Williams. So Mike Matthews doing everything he needs to do. Right then, Pletisek. You've got Richie Michel just close behind you. Can you now start to pull away from the Lamborghini driver? And can you jump ahead of Piras? I think he'll get Matt Wright. Piras will be the interesting one to keep our eyes on, though, at this moment in time, to see whether or not Piras will get the jump over these two. I assume these two should come out ahead of Piras. Remember, only the one mandatory pit stop for the two races today, but it is 25 seconds fixed. So the drivers will be held for 25 seconds. That's the difference between reverse grids and the normal sprint races here at Monza this afternoon. Pletek will get through. Richie Michel will get through. Believe Sokolov will as well, and possibly Marinic. What about Milliston then? Piras still not off the limiter yet. He is now. And where is Piras exiting the pit lane? There he is. Loses out to Milliston and will lose out to Maiger. There's Benny Varga coming down the straight. Matt Wright has just come out the pits. Does Matt Wright lose out to Benny Varga? Does he stay ahead of Benny Varga? It's going to be close coming out the pit lane between the two of them. And Matt Wright holds that inside line and stays ahead of Benedict Vargas. So Matt Wright moves ahead of Benny there then. And Mike Matthews now 2.1 seconds in the lead of this race. But the question is, when does he choose to pit? That's going to be the biggest question. What about Brandon Williams? The South African stays out for the time being, as does Leger, as does Vitas. Harris has got onto the back of... In fact, no, he hasn't, because he's now into the pit lane, but he was on the back there of that of Mackenzie. That Lexus, the absolute rocket in a straight line. And yes, so let's see what's going to happen in the rest of this race. Apologies, we're just reading a message there. Fight on though between Maiger and Piras, who's just come out the pit lane. So Piras looking to come through here and make his way back up the field a little bit. Obviously, this is the battle for the net gold lead, depending on when Cardno comes into the pits. This will be a battle for the net gold lead as well, depending on where Cardno filters out at the moment. So, so far, you have to say this could be for that gold race win in what would be a fantastic result for either one of these drivers, who's not quite up there in this championship at the moment. It could bring them right back into contention in the championship as we get to this halfway stage. And there is Michael Harris tumbling down the order behind Piras. So if he was on the back of Mackenzie, I reckon Mackenzie might be just behind this train of cars as well. Now, do you fancy Harris to get past them all? That's the big question. Surprise Class hasn't pitted yet. Really surprised by this one. Sokolov has got the fastest man on circuit. No, not behind him. He's now in front of him. So he's passed him after the start-finish line up and towards Sector 1. So fastest lap of the race for Marinic, and he leads... Oh, sorry, he's up yet another spot. Yet to see the top 7 in, though. Where are they? Mike not pitted. Brandon Williams into the pits. Leger stays out. Vitas stays out. Mackenzie stays out. Really surprised Class hasn't pitted. I think he's losing time hand over fist here. Because if he's pitting now, but I think Matt Wright's going to have the jump on him. Cardno is also coming into the pits. Right. Sokolov 6 tenths off the back of Marinic. Richie Michel is your net pit leader. So has Marinic made a mistake then? Who did get just... Or has Sokolov made the mistake? No, I think it must have been Sokolov, sorry. But Milliston fending off Maiger and Piras, with Harris not far behind. Matt Wright not a million miles back either. So looking good for some points here. Matt Wright will be looking for another podium. And him and Hibbs tonight, with no Jimenez and no Goudet, will be really fancying the chance of getting in front of or getting close to Goudet and Cardno and Jimenez. With Cardno, we believe, possibly going to finish down the order. Where's Richie Michel to Brandon Williams? Down the start-finish line they come. I tell you what, Mike Matthews here might be struggling. Brandon Williams stop-go penalty. Mike Matthews might be glad he's got them extra couple of seconds over Richie Michel, because Richie Michel and Marinic and Sokolov and Pletisek have absolutely breezed past Brandon Williams. So Mike will need a good stop here. to make sure he gets the jump over everybody in front. Maiger on the back of Milliston now. Piras has been caught by that of Michael Harris. So can Michael Harris try and make a run and get ahead then of that of Piras in this race? Huge questions to be answered here as they come round through the Curva Grande. When do we see the leaders into the pit? Mike, I believe, is in. His dot's going slow on the map. Leger in. Vitas in, I do believe. Just looking at the dots on the track map as here goes Michael Harris. Piras has a wiggle. Here comes Harris. Oh, a late block there from Piras. Michael Harris into the wall. And Piras there shut the door rather late. And as Harris tried to bail on it, instead of hitting Piras, he's gone into the wall himself. Cardno's come out ahead of Hibbs. So Cardno down in 17th at the moment, but the top 5 are all in. Now then, Richie Michel. When does Mike go green? You lose a lot of time here due to the fact that the track is such a fast circuit. Coming into the parabolic, and Mike needs to go green pretty soon. Otherwise, I think Richie Michel is going to lead this race. He's gone green now at the exact same time as Patrick Leger. They start to roll away now. The question is, where in the pit lane are they? Mike is off the limiter. Can we see that of Richie Michel in the background when the camera pans around? Leger is not. Where is Richie Michel? There is Richie Michel. Vitas has jumped Leger in the pit lane as well. But Mike Matthews comes out in the lead of this race. Where then is that of Pletisek? Gets himself ahead. Sokolov and Marinic also jumped Patrick Leger. Vitas has missed the first chicane. So might have to yield a bit of time. But Mike Matthews leads here at Monza in race number 1. It's been a while since he's won a race, and Mike Matthews is doing exactly what he needs to do. He's just got to hold on for this lap. Richie Michel 1.6 seconds back. Brandon Williams in the pits for that stop go. Klaas has gone through. Varga has gone through. In fact, they all have now. Bar de Court, who is a lap down, as is Alexandrinov. So I believe de Court might be on the same lap as him now, so has a chance of getting back out there. Sokolov on the back of Marinic. McKenzie trying to get onto the back of Pletisek. Pletisek with Leger. Maiger on the back of Milliston. Harris trying to get back onto the rear of Piras once again. But out front, Mike Matthews looking for that race win. And what a win it would be for the young man. Stop go cleared for Brandon Williams. De Court is a lap down. But is that because Williams has crossed the timing line or not? Sam Grieve saying, come on. I believe that's possibly for Michael Harris. As Marinic gaining on the back of Vitas, so is Sokolov and Leger and Pletisek. But into the final corner we go. Mike Matthews rounding the final corner for the first time tonight. And I can't believe I'm about to say this, but Mike Matthews is once again going to be a race winner. And he's going to win here at Monza. Mike Matthews takes the race 1 win. Richie Michel second from Vitas. In third place, Marinic 4th and fastest lap, Sokolov 5th, Leger 6th, Pletisek 7th, McKenzie 8th from Milliston, who just holds on from your gold winner of Maiger. Michael Harris did get ahead of Piras, 11th for him, 2nd and 12th overall for Piras, 13th and 3rd for Matt Wright, with Klaas 14th, Varga 15th, Tom Cardno crosses line 16th ahead of Hibbs, with Prestige in that of 18th place when he comes around. As he comes to the checkered flag now, Brandon Williams will be in that of 19th place. We've got Alexandrinov as well coming through the final corner at the moment, who's a lap down. So we've got him, de Court and Williams to come through. We'll see them come to line. England win. Great to see. McKenzie got completely phased on lap 1 with huge damage, says McKenzie there. Well, you know what to do, but raise them tickets, and that one will obviously be looked at. But Mike Matthews, race winner. As here comes Williams and de Court to come to the line. What a drive from Mike. He'll be absolutely over the moon with that one. And yeah, great result. But we, though, will be right back in a few moments' time. We're going to take a little break and we'll be back for the qualifying and race 2. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back then, ladies and gentlemen, to SimPlay Motorsport. First of all, start off with a few shout-outs. Well done, Mike. Peaceful Stepside saying, well done, Mike, way to go. Well done, mate, says Neil Broom. Swindle Mac, good evening to yourself. Sand Racing, put me in, coach. I did the same lap times. Yoshi, thank you for the 2-month membership. Thank you, everybody, for that one. Evening to Adam in the chat. And Yoshi, a £50 donation. Thank you very much, Yoshi. It goes a long way in what we do here at SimPlay, so really appreciate it, buddy. Thank you very, very much for that one. Right then, we are back here, and Gold is nearly over. Apologies for the longer delay. Toilet break and child to sort out as well downstairs at the moment. So apologies for the longer break. It is Matt Wright currently on provisional pole. So if we didn't have one shock tonight, we could be in for two. A Mike Matthews win and a Mathew Wright pole position. Although I think we come to expect it with Mr. Sandbagger at time. He comes round the Parabolica, about ready to start his next flying lap. And let's see what he can do. Is it going to be an improvement on his 4/10 over Benny Varga to the timing line? No, it's not. What does Benny Varga do? He's not currently there yet. Tom Cardno next. He doesn't go any quicker. The 199 of DeCourt, 1.5 off the pace. Does he find any improvement? He finds 4/10. Then we got the 69 of Mygru, goes up into second. The 566 of Benny Varga, to the line he goes. Doesn't find an improvement. Damien Hibbs, 1.7 off the pace. Does he find anything? No. Yes, he does. 0.5 of a second. So a good lap there from that of Damien Hibbs. What about Piras now then? Can he get anything in? G'day, Benny. Hope you're doing well, buddy. Let's go, my GBR boys. Benny, where have you been on LMU on a Tuesday night? Not been able to see you on a Tuesday night. Right. Back to Matt Wright we go. There's only 7 gold drivers with Prestige, I believe, having a qualifying ban tonight in this one. Mackenzie, bloody cheating that Porsche. Sandbags have definitely come off this season. Right? Am I right, Mackenzie, or what? The sandbags have well and truly come off for this season. Matty Wright's never driven so fast in his life. It is unbelievable what Matty Wright is being able to do in this machine at the moment. Down the back straight, towards the Parabolica. Mathew Wright looking to try and extend his gap at the moment in this race. Can Matty Wright do it once more? Let's wait and see. Don't forget, by the way, if you are new to SimPlay Motorsport, hit that thumbs up button, subscribe to the channel if you are new, and hit the bell to be notified when we go live, as well as check out our fantastic partner and sponsor in the chat, Design Manchester, producers of vinyl graphics, laser engraved gifts, mugs, printed clothing, and much more, including SimPlay Motorsport merchandise. And check me out, by the way, that's twice in a row now I've done it without reading it off the description. I'm getting used to this. Mike goes within 900ths of a second, so Matt might just need to drop one more sandbag here as Damien Hibbs moves up into 4th. Matt might need to drop one more sandbag on his final flying lap. Piras will be the only one to not get another lap in. There we go. Benny Archer's crashed in the first one and slept through the next couple. No worries, Benny, as Piras moves up into 4th. But Piras is done for the session. Also, to block for Platt, his pole time last night would be ahead of all the golds here. He's got him. Hey, to block himself has got to get his pace up to be in here. So the minute he gets it done, the better that will be for him. Right then, Piras done. The Platinum's come out the pit lane. Here goes Matty Wright. He knows Piras, so he's a minimum of 6th place because Piras cannot improve. And we'll see what the other drivers do. The Porsche driver. The Porsche on gold pole at Monza would be crazy over the front engine car of the Mercedes or the BMW or even that Ferrari out there as well. But Matt Wright looking to try and win a championship here. This would give him an extra point as well, let's not forget. Comes round the Parabolic, a bit of a slide, bit of a wiggle. That's possibly going to hurt him in this final run. He comes towards the timing line now. Is it going to be an improvement for him? No, it is not. Tom Cardno needs a little bit of time. Does he find it? He goes up to up to 3rd place. Maiga, though, needs even less. Is Maiga going to take pole? No, he doesn't here. The 199 in the pits to Benny Varga. Can he find it ahead of Piras in this session? Sorry, ahead of Hibbs. Yes, he does go ahead of Hibbs. Hibbs answering back. No, he's not. He's in the pit lane. So Mathew Wright as the number 9 of Patrick Leger is the first car on a flying lap. But the number 135 of Matty Wright is pole position here at Monza. And I don't quite believe what I am witnessing this afternoon. Mike Matthews, race win. Mathew Wright, pole position. Incredible. Zero Cool, good evening, commentators. This race will be amazing. Commentator, just myself tonight in the commentary box. But yes, it will. It will be an absolute brilliant race to watch and to be a part of as well. So, yeah, absolutely quality stuff. And, yeah, fantastic stuff to see. And again, Yoshi, thank you once again for the 2 months. Membership, and that £50 donation goes a long way. Mathew Wright, well. 2 Mustangs out front, though, to start the Platinum qualifying. Patrick Leger for Team SPR and the independent driver of Brandon Williams. Good evening to PN Motorsport, I believe. No, sorry, that's not PN Motorsport. I've read NP, not PN. NP Gaming. Good evening to yourself, buddy. Hope you're well. Rob Smith, someone's had there. He's had more than Weetabix. In fact, I wonder if we could get Matty right in. See if we can get Matty right in for a quick chat on his pole position. Shall we? That'd be an interesting one to get him in. You know, to do that in qualifying, just bring somebody in for a quick chat. We could bring the Platinum podiums in for the race 1 interviews and then the gold in for the 10 minutes there. The question is, do we see a repeat of this year's 12? Well, we didn't last night and we didn't in race 1. So thankfully, Benny, we haven't seen that at all. And we are joined, surprisingly, by Mathew Wright. What have SimPlay Racing been taking this evening? Because you've got pole at Monza in gold in a Porsche and Mike Matthews has took a race win. It's looking more than good at the minute, my friend. Now you've got that podium in. Is Matt okay? I think Matt's fine in the chat. Don't worry about this one. I think Matt's fine. Now you got that podium in race 1. I think for the reverse grid races we should start doing podium conversations in the qualifying. You got the podium in race 1, so the pace looked good there as well. It looked pretty impressive there. Now you've got this pole position. What's your thoughts on race 2 going forward? Can it be another podium? Can you keep Miger and the rest behind you for potentially a gold race win tonight?
In the race, just because of that straight line speed, overtaking is going to be hard unless I can get close enough to kind of send it, which you have to be careful with. But it's going to be hard to defend it in the race, I think. But you never know. We'll see what happens. Unfortunately, there's no 2 pit stop in this one, so you can't sort of early pit, get out of traffic. Got to stick with it. But just hope we all get through turn 1 and we can all have a good race.
Now, I suppose the one thing to mention or to remember is there's no Jimenez, there's no Goudet tonight, so I suppose the tactic is to try and capitalise and score as many points as you possibly can, knowing that their drop scores will count, but it's about capitalising and trying to take as many points as you can tonight.
Yeah, definitely. It's just, like I say, survive, finish as hard as I can. I'm not going to push for too much, I'm not going to be greedy, just keep it alive and hopefully finish in the top 10.
Well, hopefully finish in the top 10. I suppose Mike's already asked you the question. Battlefield later?
Yeah, of course. Why not?
Of course, why not? Right.
We'll see how the race goes first.
Yeah, see what mood you're in.
I might end up sulking.
Hey, as long as you don't do a paddy, then that's all fine. Good luck in the second race, and we'll let you get back to it. And apologies for the beginning of that interview. I forgot that because I've not got a co-commentator tonight, I forgot to unmute Matt Wright for the first part of that. Right, qualifying coming in. Richie Michel yet to do a lap time. Ian McGowan is also out on track for his first lap. Oh, no, Badge didn't want to qualify. There we go. So possibly a good choice, that, Adam. I don't blame you for that one. Richie Michel moves up to 10th. Right, where's Patrick Leger? He's currently 12th fastest. Matt Wright holding on to 7th fastest at the moment in this session. So doing a good job at the moment is Mathew Wright in this qualifying session that he's in. And for Matt Wright, that could put him in a good position for a good result at the end of this race. So let's see where it will be as Patrick Leger comes towards the Parabolica. Currently down in 12th, would love to be up in that top 10, maybe into that top 5. He really wants to start pushing for better results, he was telling me earlier in the week. And by the way, round of applause for Patrick Leger. Great job on commentary with Wellington Jimenez last night. As here he comes towards the line, moves up into 2nd place. That's the lap he would have wanted. Brandon Williams has just moved up as well. Class goes into 4th. The 64 of McGowan's about to do a lap. The 101 of Sokolov to the line. He moves up into 8th, can't keep up in time. The 73 of Alexandrov moves into 3rd. The 108 now of Pletasek coming to the line is P6. Can Pletasek move up the order? No, he can't. What about Michael Harris? 7/10 off of that pole of Milliston. 2 tenths puts him out of Patrick Leger. Stays in P7. Mike Matthews, race 1 winner. P11 at the moment. Doesn't find an improvement there. We turn our attention to the 933 of Richie Michel with 2 minutes left on the clock. So a few drivers will get another lap, possibly another 2 laps in for Richie Michel. This is going to be it, sadly, because he's going to have 1 more left to go, and that'll be it. So he's just missed that extra run in case there is an improvement at the very end for him. But we'll see what he can do. Where did McGowan get? Only 21st, but his tyres will still be getting up to temperature, although it is a warm, balmy 42 degrees track temperature out there, as Richie Michel moves himself now up into P3. And Patrick Leger then. Where are you going to end up in qualifying towards the end of this session? Let's wait and see. Oh, it's gone up half a degree in the commentary box. It's now 34.5 degrees in here. Right then, Paddy, towards the Parabolica. What do we think you can do from here? In this session, you need half a second, Patrick. Can you find that half a second? The answer is no. What about Brandon Williams? Stays in P10. Class comes across the line, stays where he is. The 64 of... no, Class goes up into 2nd. The 64 of McGowan up into P11. The 101 of Sokolov to the line, stays where he is. We now turn our attention to the 108 of Pletasek. Does Pletasek have anything to give here? 0.6 of a second he needs to find. Does he find any more than that? He does. Goes up into P2. The number 11 of Mike Matthews down in 16th place. Let's see what he can do. He only goes up into 14th, so just not the pace for Mike in this session at the moment. The 26 of McKenzie, another one who's just struggling for a bit of pace out there, which is surprising in the Nissan. I would have honestly thought that the Nissan would have possibly had a bit more pace about it. Only goes 17th. Richie Michel takes to the pit lane. So Patrick Leger, final run, drops down to 4th. But can he now get that, use this extra lap to get another position in this race? It's only 27 for you. Oh, Yoshi, I'd love it to be 27. I'm currently sat here with a frozen hot water bottle around my neck to just try and cool me down a little bit. Pletasek in the pits, Marinich in the pits, McGowan in the pits, McKenzie done. Vitas down in 16th. Not a good qualifying for Vitas in this one. In fact, Vitas is invalidated, so he's also done again for this run. So there'll be nothing else Vitas can do. Leger bails to the pit lane, can't improve. So does Brandon Williams. What about Class? Class is also bailing to the pit lane. The 101 of Sokolov. Does he have any more time in the locker? Coming towards the line he goes now. Does Sokolov find that improvement that he needs? He does, up into P4. What about Alexandrov? In this session, moves up to P6. The 34 of Michael Harris now. Guaranteed penalty incoming for Vitas. Oh, so disrespectful. Him blasting through turn 1 to get another lap in. Right, there we go then. Just as drivers was warned not to do that. Harris to the line, moves up into P8. Mike Matthews, last one on a qualifying lap. Does he get it in? He does. Moves up to 11th position at the end. Nope, can't handle the heat if I did comms. I'm the same, Yoshi. It's terrible at the moment. And Adam in the chat, a frozen hot water bottle, how does that work? Well, it's a hot water bottle that's frozen. So, all right, it's just a water bottle. And one of them ones that sit around your neck as well. So it's quite nice. Lovely sea breeze here. Hot but comfortable, says Rob Smith. That's what you get down in Cornwall. As I need to input the points now for... who is it? Marinich, I believe. Was it on pole? Milliston, sorry. Milliston on pole. 1 point for him. So that gives him an extra point there. I know you are, Adam. I know. Just in case others in here didn't get what you was on about and what I was on about. Right. Race 2. About to get underway in minute 15 and the formation lap. It's Milliston from Pletasek, from Klaas, from Sokolov, Leger, Alexandrov, Michelle from Harris, Marinich from Williams, Matthews from McGowan, Matt Wright, your gold pole sitter from Vitas, Migas from Cardno, Mackenzie from Varga, Hibbs from Piras de Court from Prestige in the chat. Benny, meanwhile, I'm under a blanket enjoying a nice cold Aussie winter. The question is, Benny, because I had an argument with my brother the other day. He said it's winter and was about 27 degrees in Brisbane. What temperature is it for you? Because I guarantee it's still, hot for the UK. What do Australia consider as cold is what I want to know. Quite intrigued now.
10 seconds.
Right, 2 seconds to the start of this race. We're going to get it underway here. Let's go. Balkan Simub says 0. Cool. Benny Archer. Oh, it's 9 degrees. Oh, right. Okay. Then, yeah, Benny, I can understand why you're under a blanket. Fair enough. There we go. Whereabouts in Australia are you, Benny? I've probably asked it before, but can't remember. But, yeah. Where is it in Brisbane? What is it in Brisbane at the minute? It's meant to be... See, Brisbane, in winter, it's meant to be 19 degrees for them today. Nine degrees, geez, that's crazy. I understand why you're under a blanket now, though. I'll let that off. I will let that one slide, Benny. Ah, right, okay, you're down south. There we go. Right, final time this evening. Final time, not the final time for this week, though, because we've got the Donington Park 6 hour being brought to you, I believe, by Alexa Marshall on Saturday. If it's not brought to you by Alexa Marshall, then I don't think it's going to be streamed because I'm working. I've got a 6 hour job I've got to do on Saturday. I'm commentating a 6 hour stint of a Spa 24 hour race. Yay, go me. I'd rather do 27's not bad, but I'd rather do comms at 9 degrees. Yeah, 100% agree with you. So yeah, so we join Alexa Marshall for the final round of the Endurance Championship, hopefully on Saturday. Myself, I'll be back on Tuesday night. It's all going to be depending on if Tanner's started his new job or not yet. So if Tanner might be joining me again on Tuesday night. Will it be me and Wellington on Wednesday? Will it be Wellington and Patrick Leger? Who knows? Might take a night off. Especially since I've got another commentary job next Saturday to do in a 4 hour race. And then I've got Snetterton for the whole weekend of commentary, the weekend after at Snetterton. So busy time of SimPlay comms and work comms. And as well the Fox Techer on the Tuesday night. So my voice is going to be absolutely killing me come the end of July. might have to be Beef and Patrick on Wednesday night in comms for the next couple of weeks, I reckon. If not, it might be me joining you in the box once again. It's not the official iRacing one. It's a championship one that I'm only being a part of it. I'm not a part of their full championship. And I'm doing... I can't even remember what the series is called. Their championship is running a Sport 24 as part of their calendar. So I'm commentating on that, and then the week after I'm commentating on basically a championship called European Sports Car Championship, which follows the European Le Mans series. That's their next round, which I believe is possibly Imola there as well, actually. So I'm doing Imola for that. And then I'm at Snetterton in real life doing circuit commentary at Snetterton the week after, as well as in between that I've got obviously SimPlay Le Mans Ultimate for 2 weeks, 2 more weeks of AC, or the rest of the month of ACC, and then I've got an American show I'm doing on iRacing called Fox Tekker on a Tuesday night. So busy time, busy time at the moment. Yeah, it earns well. Turns all right. Right, here we go then. Final round of the night. Green and go here for the final time this evening in the Pro Series. It is a good start from all on the front row. Patrick Leger looks like he's already going on the defensive from Richie Michel. And look at that Lexus of Michael Harris steaming through the pack. Nearly 3 wide with Leger and Michel. Michel onto the grass a little bit there. Now taps into the rear. And watch out for Richie Michel, who skittles the front two. Richie Michel off. And that is one of the McLarens in the lead. There is polystyrene boards all over the place as Benny Volger misses it. Milliston got through. Pletasek went through. Class is in P3, but carnage already. And you have to say, that came from Richie Michel trying to break on the grass. It didn't work, as here comes Class once more, coming down in towards the second chicane. I can't find him, looking to get around the outside of the other McLaren of Milliston. But sadly didn't get ahead at the end of it. Boogity, says Benny. Archie, Gareth Anderson, we have a bunch of our lads doing the Sport 24 on iRacing this weekend. Yoshi saying, and we go green. Oof, he says. Oof, indeed. What a crazy start to this race. Patrick Leger's 5th, Marinich, then Harris. There's Alexandrov. Mike Matthews is up tonight for McGowan's 10th. Vitas is 6th. Matt Wright leads in that gold championship from Mackenzie, with Piras in 2nd in it, ahead of Maiger. There's Cardno, Hibbs, DeCourt, all over the back of Hibbs. DeCourt might be fancying a little look here into Ascari. Brandon Williams and Prestige are ahead of Benny Volger and that of Richie Michel. And Prestige loses out to Brandon Williams there. There is Richie Michel with a bit of front-end damage on that car. But Pletasek leads this race. Class looking to get past, and has got past in the braking zone. That's of Milliston. So a good start to this race for the leaders. Only that one incident, it looked like, through turn 1 of Richie Michel braking on the grass and spinning across into the lead couple of cars. But Class at the moment takes the lead. Milliston in for an early pit stop. Now that's a good strategy here, especially if he's got that bit of damage. Get in early, you can go the entirety of the race on 1 tank of fuel. But you have got to wait that 25 seconds. So the only question will be is, can you make them tyres last the hour? That's the big question in this one tonight. Can you make them tyres last the hour? And we'll find out, I suppose, in a few moments' time, if Class has been able to do that or not. Further down the field, Alexandrinov is coming under pressure from race 1 winner of Mike Matthews then. Matthews looking to move up the order a little bit more. Stays behind for now. Vitas having a look on the back of McGowan. Mackenzie looking on Matt Wright. Maiger's back up to 2nd in Class as Piras has had a moment somewhere and has tumbled down to last place. Milliston still in the pit lane, so a long stop for him. Richie Michel didn't pit either. DeCourt now on the back of Prestige in this one. Brandon Williams, no, who was that? Benny Volger just blinking a little bit in the background. Mackenzie all over the back of Matt Wright, but 0.2 of a second. In fact, Mike Matthews just made a mistake, and is this going to allow Ian McGowan and Vitas potentially through? Made a mistake out the second Lesmo. Car looks okay, no damage on it. He has lost out to Ian McGowan. He's going to have to go right around the outside of Vitas. Mike Matthews then coming under immense pressure from the 2 after his own little mistake, and Mike does lose 2 places at the moment in this race due to a mistake all on his own. Marinich gaining on the back of Leger with Michael Harris waiting in the wings as Anderson says crazy decisions by Michel trying to make a move from where he did. And yeah, we'll let the stewards decide what will come of that one. That's if it is reported at all, in fairness. So Mike Matthews now, 10th place, still looking to get past Vitas, still with him as Mackenzie's into the pits. Trying to stick in the slipstream is Mike Matthews. As they come down towards turn 1. Mike looks like he may have a little bit of damage on that rear wing. Can't quite tell from here. But already 5 minutes into this second race, McGowan, Vitas, Mike coming through the first chicane of the lap. Michael Harris has got his teammate just ahead of Marinich. So could his teammate play a bit of a nuisance here for Marinich, for Harris to get past him? As Class is going side by side with a leader to the outside of the second chicane. It'll be a ballsy move. Can't get it done though. And Class stays behind in second place for now. Marinich running in P5 at this moment. Still on the back of Patrick Leger's Ford Mustang. With Vitas losing out to McGowan through the first couple of chicanes. And is coming to the path now of Mike Matthews. Maiger trying to get onto the rear of Matt Wright a little more for the lead in the gold standings. Hibbs and Cardno going at it with Brandon Williams. DeCourt trying to stick to the back of Richie Michel. And Milliston is out the pits. Does have a yellow flag, so must have been off. He hasn't been lapped though, that's the crucial thing. Mackenzie's just done his stop. And Class out front, keeping that pressure on Pletisek. Sokolov from Leger, from Marinich. Then there's Michael Harris. Alexandrinov getting into this train as well. It's a train of almost 5 cars developing as Class. Did Pletisek make a mistake out of the Ascari chicane as Class has already got the move done and leads by a couple of tenths of a second over Pletisek now. So it's almost a train for the lead between the top 7, but I get the feeling Class is just going to be able to pull away here and bail. And oh no, I believe we've been disconnected with 54 minutes to go. So we're going to take a quick break and we'll be back when we sort.
Nope.
No.
We're all still racing.
I had a moment.
Just you, I think.
Still 22 in, Matt. No. We're too busy dodging a Vitas that can't stop fucking weaving.
Welcome back everybody, so apologies for that. It wasn't ACC, it just booted me. Everybody is still in the session, so it was just me that got kicked from the race. So at the moment, we are as we was. It's Class from Pletisek, from Sokolov, with Patrick Leger in 4th, from Marinich, from Harris, Alexandrov, then Ian McGowan, Mike Matthews has got past, and Matt Wright has got past Vitas now, so they've both got ahead of Vitas. Maiger is then down in 12th, second in the gold category. Cardno from Hibbs with Brandon Williams, Richie in fact, Williams going side by side with Hibbs, coming down the back straight in towards the Parabolica. Let's keep our eyes on if Brandon Williams can make the move now into the Parabolica. There you go. No, thinks better of it. Richie Michel, then DeCourt, then Piras, then Prestige, Varga, McKenzie and Milliston. Everybody still on the lead lap. And Class hasn't been dropped. Pletisek hasn't been dropped by Class at the moment. Don't worry, Rob. It wasn't a G-Port issue. Everybody stayed in, so the race is carried on. So you've only missed a lap of racing. Well, I dashed into the chat with Mike there and made sure that to see who had been kicked and whether we needed to reset the server, but it was just me apparently, so thankfully we continue on. But look at this top 7, all separated by under a second. Matt Wright's gaining on his teammate here, but Maiger will be the one who wants to get past Vitas before Matt Wright can make any more progression. Mike's got to try and find a second and a half to the back of Ian McGowan. Now 1.7 actually, so Matt Wright getting closer to Mike. For the sake of Matt Wright's gold race lead at the moment, is it worth Mike dropping back to let Matt have the position or not? We'll see. But also now, look, Klaas has got 1.1 seconds between himself and Pletisek. Then it's Sokolov in third, Leger in fourth, with then that of Marinic, Harris, Alexandrov. McGowan actually gaining on the back of this pack. So this is what McGowan can see at the minute. That's him gaining on the cars in front. That's pulling away from Mike Matthews behind. We'll see as they come through sector 2. It was 1.3, still is 1.3. Gap's come down actually to Mike a little bit as well, to 1.5. And Mike opened the gap up to Matt Wright by a second there. So, Matt just dropping a wheel in the gravel. That could make Vitas interested. Miger on the back as well. Good evening to Cummins. You've not missed a great deal, to be fair. Good action you've missed, but not too many incidents to speak of. Say it's Monza, all considering. And if I keep taking a break, that's apologies. I am taking a drink and trying to stay hydrated. So here comes Miger on the back of Vitas now. Richie Michel's attacking the back of Hibbs in the background as well. Richie Michel looking up the inside of Damien Hibbs. Is he going to break later? Yes, he does. Comes up the inside line. Richie Michel gets the move done. That's a good move from the Italian driver there. Gets it stopped on the apex beautifully. And the Lamborghini up another place. Hibbs' Honda just hasn't got the pace here tonight. And it should be good though next week at Alton Park. Should be a pretty good car for next time out. Just hasn't got the pace tonight. Miger on Vitas here. As McGowan's losing out to that top. So is Alexandrov actually. And Harris, even though he's in that Lexus, just cannot find the way past Marinic. Can't get close enough to Marinic to find a way through. As Marinic is all over the back of Patrick Leger. This is on board with Marinic. And look at him, really hassling the back of that Ford Mustang here. Trying to find his way through any little way he can. Left then right, back to the left through Ascari. Marinic just trying to get closer. Did just dip a wheel in the gravel there. Now, if that cost him a little bit of momentum, that could put Harris in a great position. Further down the order, Miger still on the rear of Vitas. Closest fight on the circuit. Oh, you heard the chat live. Oh, well, I forgot to mute up. Apologies, Rob. I must have forgot to mute up. Right, and Miger, do you have the pace to try and get ahead down the start-finish straight to Vitas? Here we go then, Miger in that lovely coloured Mercedes-Benz, I must say, coming down the start-finish straight. Not going to even have a look to the inside. Did Harris get closer? Yes, he did. Right on the back now, and is this Harris's chance down through the Curva Grande to use that top speed of the Lexus here to try and maybe get onto the inside line? Klaas is checking out up front. Here comes Harris, not close enough though. No, he's not. What about Vitas and Miger? Not close enough again. So nothing can be done there. De Court gaining on Hibbs. Hibbs is struggling here. Hibbs is fading a little bit in this race. Honda has not been the greatest car choice tonight for him. Which I thought the Porsche struggled more than the Honda. But how I've been proved wrong. Mike has lost 2 seconds to Ian McGowan now. And I'm wondering if it will be time to let Matt Wright through soon for Mike Matthews. So 47 minutes left. Oh, that was Sokolov very wide, and Patrick Leger's got past him onto the podium. Marinic will fancy the move to be done as well. What about Michael Harris? Yes, Michael Harris gets it done, so Sokolov's mistake drops him down 3 places and puts Leger onto the podium. Marinic up to 4th and Michael Harris in 5th place at this moment in time. Right, Alexandrov having a look on the inside of Sokolov. Doesn't get the move done. This could put McGowan onto the back of this train a bit more. Matt Wright now on the rear of his teammate. Miger still trying to get ahead of Vitas. And De Court, is he going to have a look on Hibbs? No, he's not. Is this now the chance for Matt Wright to maybe just say to Mike, come on, out the way, let's get on with it. And look at this train of cars, all behind now Patrick Leger in this race. So Leger on the podium, would love a podium. Would he? Don't thank your mama for the carrots, indeed. He'd love a podium. He was hoping to have a good season in this Ford, and it just hasn't quite worked out the way he wanted it to. Sokolov, Alexandrov, McGowan not a million miles back. It says 2 seconds. Yeah, it probably is now. That camera's pan around. Mike is left. Now, has Mike made a mistake mid-Ascari? It seems a strange place to let your teammate go, mid-Ascari. But so I don't know if Mike's made a mistake. There is 3 wide though in the background. That's Cardno in the middle of Maiga and Vitas, who was very wide out of Ascari. So what's happened back here? But Cardno tries to get past the pair of them. And I think he has, you know, he's moved himself up into second in goal. Vitas going to hold that inside line. Is there any contact? It got very, very close between the two there. Cardno on that higher line should be able to get a better slingshot out the corner. But Vitas trying to use that side draft now with the BMW M4 as he tucks back in behind Maiga pits. And Cardno moves up 2 spots there. So not sure what happened, but Maiga and Vitas losing out to Tom Cardno in this one. Oh, Vitas very tight line in and somehow gets the move back. That was an almighty dive around the outside for the inside line at the second part of the first chicane. Brandon Williams now into play with this fight, so I don't think Mike's got to worry at the moment behind, because this looks like it's going to be raging on for a while. Leger, in fact, that train still as it was, but Vitas, Cardno, Williams, nearly Richie Michel, all duking it out now. There's Maiga in the pits. Oh, Vitas. Moment out the second chicane. Cardno's going to look up the inside line here to try and get the move done through Lesmo 1. Little bit of contact. Vitas goes out wide. Brandon Williams fancies the pair of them into the second. Lesmo almost 3 wide. Brandon Williams gets Tom Cardno, who looks to try and get the up and under. Richie Michel's in there as well, on trying to go side by side with Vitas, who's also coming back at Thomas Cardno. What an absolutely awesome bit of battling this is from the pro drivers. Cardno in that slipstream of the Ford Mustang of Brandon Williams. Richie Michel almost pushing him into Ascari, and Vitas, is he going to lose out? Richie Michel round the outside of Vitas at Ascari chicane. What a move. Carries the momentum through as well, and he's on the back of Thomas Cardno. Slow car. Patrick Leger is a slow car up front. What has happened to Leger? He's got huge damage. So Leger was on for a podium. Not sure what has happened there, but he's now trundling to get back to the pit lane. And Patrick Leger's day has gone from bad to worse. Here comes Vitas though, coming back at Richie Michel. Hibbs is now on the back of this train. Leger gets into the pits. Vitas has got that inside line. Let's try and surely look up the inside of Cardno. No, little bit of contact between Vitas and Richie Michel just to coming together, it looked like, from that. And Vitas gets through on the Lamborghini. But what a fight this is. Harris is now up into, or was ahead of Marinich at one point there. He's now lost back out to Marinich. They're gaining on Pletisek in the Mercedes, so not sure what's happened to Pletisek. McGowan's not quite on this train. Matt Wright's dropped Mike Matthews, who's well clear of Brandon Williams. And Tom Cardno fending off Richie Michel and Vitas, who have to cut the chicane. And Richie Michel's going to have to yield that time to go back behind that of Vitas. He does indeed. Hibbs giving him a flash of the lights, but I think he's given back the time he gained there. So Richie Michel did exactly what he needed to do. Here's the court in the background, trying to get closer. What an absolutely awesome fight that was. That was clean as you like, wasn't it? As Vitas goes into the gravel. Poor run down the back straight then. This could allow Richie Michel the chance to have a look up that inside of Vitas. He's not close enough though at the moment. Riding on board with Richie Michel. Hibbs getting a bit closer also. Down the order. All right, mate. Apologies, was receiving an important phone call there about, well, I say important, it was my ex-partner who asked her son, my stepson, had heart operation the other month. So she didn't realise I was on commentary. I kind of panicked there where I saw her ringing at this time of night. Everything's okay though, so we're not going to suddenly abruptly stop the stream. Everything is fine. So we carry on. Marinic didn't get ahead of Pletasek. Harris, Sokolov, Alexandrov still there. Back down the order though. Hibbs on the back of Richie Michel. This is just all quietened down a little bit now further back. Patrick Leger still in the pit lane, bless him. So he's in for a really long stop here. He's just come out the pit lane, so he's a lap down on the leaders, but some of them will have to re-pit, so he's not out of this race for scoring points. But we'll see what he can do in this race. Right, back further forward, Marinic was coming under pressure from Pletasek, but look at that Lexus charging down the start-finish straight, getting closer to that of Marinic once again. He just needs to be closer coming into the Parabolica. Marinic went a little deep at the first part there, actually, and that could put him under pressure now from Harris, who could have a good run right round towards the second chicane here. Day of racing it's been here at Imola, at Monza, sorry. It continues on. 39 minutes left to go in this race. Hibbs still gaining on the back of Richie Michel, who's losing out to Vitas a little bit now. Alexandrov going side by side with Sokolov. This is for 5th and 6th. Sokolov's got the inside line covered at the moment into Ascari, and manages to keep it covered. Runs a little deep though through the second part. Bounces over the sausage curbs. Sokolov goes around. Alexandrov gets through. Here comes McGowan. Where's Matt Wright? He also gets through. Mike Matthews looked like he was a bit squirrely. He gets past Sokolov. Dips a wheel in the gravel. Brandon Williams, does he get ahead? No, he does not. He's a bit too far back. But will definitely close that gap indeed. Sokolov very slow, so Brandon Williams does get ahead here. Benny Volger's just done his pit stop. So out comes Benny Volger now a lap down, and Sokolov coming into the pit. So I wonder if he's got a bit of damage as Prestige. Pit stop start now. Mackenzie comes to the fore, hopefully. Indeed so. Well, he is the lead pit runner, and look at all that clear road he's got in front of him. Marinic still on the back of Pletasek with Harris there. Harris just can't get close enough through Parabolica. Hibbs gaining on Richie Michel like there's no tomorrow. Prestige gaining on Cardno as well. What happened to Tom Cardno actually, because he's dropped down to 16th, so something's happened to Cardno. Dropped half a degree, so it's getting cooler. It doesn't feel it, but it's getting cooler. Struggling in the comms box. Right, go back to this fight a second. Zero Cool in the chat. I would be first here. Haha, no joke, or maybe. I didn't actually see last night's pace. I was too busy feeling a bit under the weather. But yeah, Harris now, he just isn't close enough out to Parabolica. And then he gets super close towards the bottom end of the straight. He's got to be careful of Alexandrinov catching him. And he was just trying to gain on Richie Michel here. 35 minutes. Left in this race. I forget how difficult to commentate on your own it is. It's a privilege when you get more people in the box with you. Right then, Hibbs. Just dropping off the back of Michelle a little bit, not too much. Harris is now out of a second from Marinic. So Harris has had a terrible lap somewhere. How did these guys get? How did these guys put their names and not their gamer tags? So on SimGrid, if your account's registered, obviously with your gamer tag, and then when you edit profile, you put your first and last name in, and then when we take the entry list from SimGrid, we get your first and last name, and we put it onto the entry list, and then that's how it's done. If you're already on the entry list, Hulk, I don't know if you're in Pro-Am actually, if you want that, just message Mike Matthews, Peaceful Explosion, he sorts the entry list out, so he'll be able to sort that out for you in this one. Prestige gaining on Cardno, so I don't know what Cardno's done. He doesn't look to have damage at all. Interesting. Mackenzie on his own, doing well at the moment. Right, Patrick Leger, let me take a look on my timing tower. First of all, fuel loads, read for interesting reading at the moment, but he's pitted, he's pitted, he's pitted, he's pitted, and he's pitted. So maybe they don't make for interesting reading, maybe they make for normal reading for this stage of the race actually. So the leaders are on lap 14. Cardno's just started lap 14. In fact, does Cardno just... Prestige is into the pits, who just crossed the line for lap 14. Oh, that's Patrick Leger in the gravel. So another mistake for Ascari there. So Mackenzie's coming round to start lap 14 now, as will Maiger, as is Sokolov, as is Milliston, as is Benny Varga. Yeah, Patrick Leger's a lap down on the field, so he's got to unlap himself from the field here. Marinic gaining on Pletisek, though. 0.2 of a second, closest fight on the circuit at the moment. So yeah, Patrick Leger a lap down, so he's just in it to score points at the moment. Are you signed up already, Hulk? If not, it will be for next season, but if you're signed up already, then yeah, we can change your name. Right, in comes Class, in comes Pletisek. Marinic stays out to lead this race. Harris stays out, Alexandrov stays out, so does McGowan, so does Matt Wright, Mike Matthews. What are you going to do? Now, this is where we're going to see where Mackenzie's pace is going to lie. Mike stays out, Williams stays out, Richie Michel. Got the feeling Mike want to come in to try and get that damage done. First in the championship, I'll double check that in a moment. Vitas is in, Decourt stays out. What will Piras and Cardno do? Piras stays out. Just keep our eyes on Cardno a second. He's having a bit of a slide in that BMW. It all seems like it's gone horribly wrong. Marinic leads the Platinum Championship at the moment as Cardno comes into the pits. Right then, Mackenzie, can you jump anybody in the pitch? You got ahead of Prestige. Sorry. So you've managed to gain an extra place there. But can you do anything about it? I'll wait for next season. I need to practice anyway. No problem, buddy. Make sure you get your hot stints done and in. If you've got them in, then we'll be ready to get you signed up for next season. It'd be great to see you out there on the circuit. So here comes Mackenzie now. Pletsek's on his way out the pit. So I think he's only going to gain 2 places out of the ones that have pitted so far. Yeah, he's not going to get Pletisek, and he didn't get Class, but he has absolutely got past Vitas and Cardno. So has Maiga. So Maiga coming back up the order. So has Sokolov. Milliston might. Leger has unlapped himself from them, I do believe. Yeah, Milliston comes through. Prestige and Varga nowhere near. So I believe Leger may have just unlapped himself from them. So I think he's also on the same lap as Prestige and Varga, but obviously just at the different ends of the lap. So if anything happens to them, he could still come through. Marinic into the pits. Alexandrov gaining on Michael Harris here, who's putting a lap on Tom Cardno and Vitas as he comes out the pit lane. Cardno has to be just a little wary of that one. Coming out the pits, does Tom Cardno there, but he does a good job. Keeps it going. Rob Smith, there's always some fun events between seasons too. Get signed up for them when they come. Indeed there is. We always do try and do at least 1 or 2 fun events. So just for a bit of fun, doesn't mean anything serious. Obviously don't drive like an absolute idiot, but you know, they're not serious. They are for a bit of a giggle. We tend to do different cars just to have a laugh and a giggle, and we'll try and do a spicy event or something. And looks like we are going to change the way we do the seasons as well, because LMU will not be starting next season at the same time as ACC. It will start 3 weeks earlier due to the fact that LMU is a shorter calendar. So yeah, LMU will be starting a little earlier than ACC next season by 3 weeks. Obviously they will have their 6-week break at the end of their season, and then they'll be underway with ACC 3 weeks later, which bonus is I only have 4 weeks. If I am commentating on my own for all of them races that season, I'll only have 4 weeks where I'm doing it on my own, and then it'll go down to just 2 nights, where it'll be 3 nights a week, because then the week after it'll go down to 2 nights. So what a bonus that'll be. And it means more streams throughout the off-season as well. Right, Alexandrov into the pits. McGowan coming in as well. What does Matt Wright do? He's going to come into the pit lane. Richie Michelle with that damage. Where's Richie Michelle going to come in? Mackenzie's jumped Mike Matthews. So there's your first telltale sign of where Mackenzie might be. So around the Matt Wright area, I'd suggest. Richie Michelle's coming in. Hibbs coming in. DeCourt coming in. So so Harris stays out and leads this race at the moment. We are indeed, Gareth. All will be revealed soon. We've just got to have the discussion on how many DLC tracks we want to actually use. So there might be a poll going up in the LMU chat for who's got what DLCs. If everybody's got them all, then it gives us free reign. If they don't, then yeah. Might be back to the original home of SimPlay at Daytona. So, do you have all the DLCs, Rob? Gareth, sorry, do you have all the DLCs? Just question. No real fights out there at the moment. Where's Mackenzie? He's got the job done on the court and Hibbs there. So we're seeing them come through. So class leads from Marinic when Harris decides to pit, which I believe is going to be this lap. Then it's Alexandrov, so... Well, we don't know where Harris is yet because he's in the pits. Pletisek from McGowan, Matt Wright, so Mackenzie, yeah, split Matt Wright and Mike Matthews at the moment. That's Mike, Maiga, Brandon Williams, Sokolov, Richie Michelle, Hibbs, DeCourt, Milliston, Piras, Cardno, Vitas, Prestige, Varga, and then Patrick Leger, who's just had a Richie Michelle. So Patrick Leger is on the same lap as up to 13th place, but obviously the opposite ends of the circuits. Good afternoon, Kieran Argent from Leicester, or Derby, or Nottingham. You could be in either of the three. You're probably in a hotel in Leicester, though. Gareth Hansen, I imagine people either have Pro Plus subs or all the DLCs brought. Yes, mate, I brought all DLCs. Good, because we're thinking about using because this America DLC that's coming out will be the first DLC with 2 of the tracks. All the others only have 1 track each. So we're thinking of the potential America pack because it will be new, and potentially Interlagos, just because it's my favourite circuit, bar Donington Park. So there we go. Milliston on the back of Hibbs, then in 14th place as they come down the back straight towards the Parabolica. Milliston looking to try and get past Hibbs. Platinum versus Gold Driver, the Gold Driver being Hibbs. Oh, you're at Leicestershire Services. There we go. Is that the Donington Park services, Kieran? The one on the roundabout. Right, where did Harris come out? P4. So we've got jumped by Alexandrov actually there. So yeah, interesting. Williams being caught by Sokolov. Milliston being putting the pressure on Hibbs. De Court being pressurised by Piras, who gets a run. Oh, it just drives into the back of him to get through there. Surely he has to give that place back. That's crazy. That's wild from Piras there. Just drives into the back of him, puts him in a half spin, straightens him up and gets through. That's wild. Oh, the one before, yeah. Yes. Yeah, you probably are, actually. Good services, Leicester. Stopped there many a time on my way down to the studio in Corby. Interlagos can get in the bin. I had a terrible time in the fun event we did. Vitas putting the pressure on Card now. I may have just ruined Gareth Anderson's night there. De Court then. He can be annoyed with that, and rightly so. Williams gaining on Maiger with Sokolov coming with him as well. Fights just few and far between at the moment with 24 minutes left on the clock. And Brendan Williams then, who's, you know, he had a decent night, was running P2 quite solidly until he got the stop-go penalty in the pits in race 1. And in race 2, just been a little bit quiet from Brandon Williams. Not really seeing the best from him at the moment. So he'll be hoping to try and pick up another couple of places. Tanner is awoken from migraine medication included now. Well, if you're better, Tanner, you are on the entry list to get in and join me on the last 10 to 20 minutes of commentary, but that's completely up to you in this one. Right, this three-way fight continuing on, just dropping down to Hibbs, still on the back now of Milliston. Piras has pulled well clear of De Court. Pletasek gaining on Harris down the start finish straight. Harris has just seemed to have lost all pace in that Lexus in this race. Just doesn't seem to have gained the pace at all. We've got Brandon Williams on the back of Maiger as well with Sokolov. In fact, they're not on the back, they're side by side coming down towards turn 1. Maiger on the inside line, Williams on that outside. Looking around, goes Brandon Williams, has to get out of it. And see, that's how it's done. Don't just push the driver through. It's irritated me, that move from Piras, I'm not going to lie. I don't get irritated on commentary very easily, but that one has annoyed me a little there. I'm not going to lie to you. There's a Harris a little sliding, but so is Pletisek. McGowan 3.3 back, can't catch up. Neither can Matt Wright on him. Looks like McKenzie's gaining on Matt Wright a little bit with Mike Matthews, but Williams and Maiger so far just going at it. With Sokolov as well, right on the back. Don't forget Sokolov just behind the Ford Mustang. And remember, if you are new to the channel, do hit that thumbs up button, the bell to be notified when we are live, which I believe should be Saturday, for the 6 hours of Donington Park, brought to you by Alexa Marshall. And then we'll be back live next Tuesday, Wednesday and Thursday for Le Mans Ultimate, and then Pro-Am and Pro of ACC Console. And subscribe to the channel if you are new, because we have hit, in 5 weeks of action, we have hit over 109 subscribers. As here comes Brandon Williams, coming to the outside line once again of Maiger. Maiger in the Mercedes-Benz. Sokolov in that slipstream of the Ford Mustang. Has Williams got enough to get the car around the outside? Just squeezes into the middle of the road, the pair of them. Brandon Williams right around the outside. Great move that. Great setup, because he forced Maiger not to be able to come across to the full outside line. And that puts Maiger under pressure from Sokolov. I don't even think we could class it as a push to pass. It was worse. Indeed, it was. More like a shove out the way. And a good evening to Beto in the chat. You're doing well, buddies. Here comes Sokolov having a look. Can't do anything about that one. Can Sokolov there. Right then. Further forward, Michael Harris, fastest lap of the race, tied with that of class, and side by side now with Pletisek for 4th and 5th. Here comes Michael Harris on the inside line of Ascari. Pletisek's going to try and hold it around the outside line. Now bails on it, but has possibly just compromised his run through the Ascari chicane there, and it puts him on the back foot. There is Sokolov trying to stick to the back of Maiger, and Maiger trying to stick to the back of Brandon Williams. As Maiger knows, he's just lost another place to Matt Wright, who's in complete control of this gold lead at the moment. Mike Matthews has got towards a second of McKenzie, but Harris here, who has done the same fastest lap as Class. Class did it first, so Class will be the one to get the point for it. They're going at it once more. Nothing happening into turn 1. Back to Maiger. Williams. Ignore the car behind. That's Leger, who's a lap down on all of these. So he's gonna, if he can get past, will unlap himself. So if one of these has a drama, they'll end up at the freezer. 0-0 at half-time, and Mbappe's Mr. Pennington. Righty flying tonight. Yeah, he really has this. I'll tell you what, it's been a good night for the SimPlay Racing team. Some good points scored. Mike obviously winning the sprint with Matt Wright third in gold, and then you know, Mike having a solid P9, probably where his pace would be. And Matt Wright leading in the gold race in P7, and with Cardno struggling. No Jimenez, no Goudet. This really puts Matt Wright in a strong position for points. Obviously, we'll check the drop scores as Williams and Maiger both go into the gravel. We'll check the drop scores because obviously points will be scored back there. In this one, Maiger wide again, and Sokolov now gets the run on Maiger. The Mercedes-Benz just struggling a little bit. And here comes Sokolov. This takes more points away from the gold driver of Maiger over that of Matt Wright, because remember, if you all knew, points are scored for overall positions, not per category. So you're fighting everybody out there all the time in the race to try and score points. And Maiger, 2 corners in a row, went too deep and has lost out. Michael Harris now has the fastest lap outright, so now he scores that extra point for it. And all of a sudden, is Harris's Lexus just coming to life a little bit here? Been a fantastic race. Matthews gaining on the back of McKenzie. So Matthews could be up into P8, but Maiger, he's lost out to Sokolov. It just hasn't happened for him. He's now got Patrick Leger, who wants to unlap himself to get on with his race. He is allowed to unlap himself as well, provided he is quicker. And Benny Varga's only on the back straight. Leger's gone through sector 1. I know we've got 16 minutes left, but any dramas for Benny Varga at the end could have put Patrick Leger closer to him. And here we go then. Mackenzie versus Matthews now. The Snot Rocket, as Gillies called it in week 1. Coming under some pressure from the, I don't know what to call it, tangerine, papaya, or, you know, as it's known, orange Tony Bates. The orange McLaren of Mike Matthews behind him. You wouldn't miss these two out there in the dock, would you? The Snot Rocket and the orange McLaren out there. Yeah, maybe the orange is not the brightest of colours. Mr. Titan, the way these guys are racing gives me much confidence that if we ever go to touring cars or stock cars, racing would be fun as hell. You bet your bottom dollar it would be Mr. Tanner Kneebone. Mike getting closer. I might have to give Mike driver of the day here. What a crazy world we live in. With Mike might get driver of the... You know what, I might have to get my gold driver there because I think they've both been exceptional. What a crazy world we live in that Captain Sandbags and the peaceful pirouette of the 5 years ago get driver of the day. Absolutely flabbergasted. Alexandrov is on the back of Marinich, by the way, getting close. That's for second place overall. Hulk, if there was touring cars on console, we wouldn't be on ACC. Let me tell you that one. Big British touring car fan. We would no way be doing ACC on this. Mike's still putting pressure on here. If Mike gets driver of the day, the world might collapse. Tanner, he won the first race. You was asleep. He won the first race. You've not turned up to comms and he's won. And Matt Wright put it on gold pole position. And Matt got a podium in gold. In the Porsche at Monza. That deserves driver of the day in gold on its own. Porsche at Monza, driver of the day, that for me. Myga went wide. I saw in the background there on Patrick Leger. So Leger's going to get the chance to unlap himself here. Yeah, there you go. Leger goes through. That's him unlapped himself now from Myga. I wasn't there, it doesn't count. I've had 3 Golden Era BTC chassis in real life and my dad had 2. Oh, which chassis did you have? Which chassis did you have? And if you had any Matt Neal ones, I may need to mute my mic for a moment. Marinich has got Alexandrov right under the rear wing of him. Whew. Right, so this battle, 3/10, Alexandrov getting closer, getting closer, getting closer, but just can't again make that move. It's a bit like Pletasek and Harris earlier, although Pletasek has done Harris. Harris has got big rear damage. So Harris has got rear damage on the car. What has he done there? He's got big side damage as well. Oh, Harris, what have you done? And is this Mike on better tyres, I wonder? Well, this might give Matt Wright a P6 in this race because Harris looks incredibly slow. Big bit of left-hand side and rear damage on that car. Interesting. Richie Michel's side by side with Mike going down to turn 1. Good evening, Ossian. Thank you very much. You are appreciated and loved yourself, my friend. Hope you're doing well as Richie Michel right around the outside of Micah under braking there. Lovely move from Richie Michel. It can be done. Hulk E36, B5, A4, Saab 93, which identifies somewhat to my Saab. My dad had a 405 Lancia, which is an Alpha 155, and a Volvo V40. Oh, the Volvo V40. Oh, Mike getting close to the back of Mackenzie there. This is on the back, by the way, of Mike Matthews. This is his view of that Nissan in front. Saab to the Vectra. Yeah, it's a Vauxhall. Mike can't see a lot, can he? Past that big, bright green Nissan in front of him. As he approaches into a Scari chicane now. 10 minutes left on the clock. Is this Mike just with better tyres? Mackenzie gets a better run through a Scari. Can mount the curve better there as well. But look at the run Mike got on the exit of the corner there. So Mike definitely getting the better of the runs. Right, McGowan within 1.7 of Harris through Sector 2. What is that now? They come to the line. It's now down to 1.6. Mike Matthews always looking up the inside. Nearly taps the rear of Mackenzie there. And a flash of the lights. Does Mike think Mackenzie shut the door a bit on him? Milliston now on the back of Mike. What has happened to Maiger? He's just going backwards at the moment. Going backwards. Patrick Leger's back in for a pit stop. So you're not sure what's happened to Patrick Leger. And Mike's lost out. Mackenzie's gone deep. Mike's going to try around the outside. Mackenzie's going to have a horrible run. Mike just onto the gravel and curb a little bit, but he's on the inside line for the Curva Grande as Mike Matthews. Side by side with the Nissan. And the Nissan should come out on top here. Godzilla has got the power to pull in front of Mike Matthews. But he's sticking with him, is Mike. Does he back out going into the chicane? Yes, he does. He lets Mackenzie have it. Through the first part, through the second. Mike carries... Oh, great defending from Mackenzie. Makes Mike check up and have to wait to go again. Sokolov's attacking the rear of Brandon Williams. We've still got Marinich and Alexandrov. 10 minutes to go and it is all kicking off. Has Retirement retired? If he stays in the pits, it technically has retired, but we'll score points for 22nd place. So we'll keep our eyes on that. No, he's come back out on track, so he's not retired. Oh, Mackenzie, big slide. Bouncing off the curb. Mike had to hit onto the brakes. Goes off onto the escape road to avoid the back of Mackenzie. And Godzilla should once again power down the straight. This is bringing Sokolov and Brendan Williams back into contention here. Oh, yes, I wonder if Mike got a press loss when he went wide. Very good shout there, Rob Smith. Mike Matthews, though, tucks underneath that of Mackenzie. And now looks like he's got the job done. But wait a minute. The Snot Rocket coming back at him. Mackenzie powers Godzilla down the straight here at Monza. And Mike, once again, can do nothing about the straight line speed of the Nissan. Brandon Williams and Sokolov right with them now. This has turned into a four-way fight. And Mike needs to get this move done. He needs to pull away from Mackenzie before the others start to put pressure on him. Harris has managed to plateau his time out a little bit and has pulled away once again from Ian McGowan. He's gained a second over McGowan. And Williams is going to be defending from Sokolov in a moment's time. Matthews through the second Lesmo, still all over the rear of that of Mackenzie. Just go to this quick fight of Marinich and Alexandrov. Nothing changing there, but Mike Matthews all of a sudden, poor run out of the second. Lesmo's got Brandon Williams almost pushing him down the back straight towards the scoring. Goes to the outside, does Brandon Williams. Thinks better of it though. Mike coming through. I thought Williams would break later there, but manages to tuck it back in. Dan and Ebo saying that was a textbook bump and run by Mike in the last corner. Too bad the McLaren doesn't have enough in the engine to get the move done, and Rob Smith are late to Mackenzie's tyres after running long on one set last night. Well, Mackenzie might have a bit of breathing space now that Mike is being put under pressure from Brandon Williams. And Mike's got the work to do again. He has the work to do to catch up to Mackenzie once again. Although, where is Mackenzie? Where is he? He's tumbled down the order. He's off. He's in the gravel. I must have missed that. What's Mackenzie done there? He's stopped. I wonder if Mackenzie's had a wheel issue. He's returned to the pits. I wonder if Mackenzie's had some form of wheel issue there, because we didn't even see it. I've just looked back at the stream. Didn't even see it. Wheel disconnected. He's just put in the chat. The wheel is disconnected for Mackenzie. Oh, what a shame. But this is why you never retire, because all of a sudden Patrick Leger might gain one place. So Brandon Williams now attacking the back of Mike for 8th position. Oh, what a race this has turned out to be. Mike wide at Lesmo 1 into the gravel. Williams can't find a way through. Mike just pushing it too hard now. Williams has a wiggle. Sokolov can't keep up with these two at the minute. Oh, now Brandon Williams is off. I've just turned away to take a drink and Brandon Williams is off. He's lost out to Sokolov. So I'm going to keep an eye on the stream next to me, see what's happened. Let's go back to this fight then, as Marinic defending from the outside, on the inside with Alexandrov. On the outside line, Marinic bounces all over the curbs. That makes it easy for the Ferrari, and Alexandrov is through. Oh, Mike and Williams had a coming together. I didn't see who was at fault. Let me just try and get that back a little bit. Let me see if I can see that again. So Mike defending the inside line. Comes across a little bit. Oh, Williams braked on the grass. Williams braked on the grass. I haven't actually looked, to be honest, Gareth. I've been a bit busy today. But I haven't been able to look. So I need to go and check that one when I post the results for this. Right, Sokolov now on the rear of Mike. Richie Michelle going side by side with Brandon Williams. 3.5 minutes to go. And Richie Michelle's going to get up the inside of Williams, who tries to turn in, but Richie Michelle is there. And Michelle goes through. Milliston might fancy a chance here. There we go. Patrick Leger is about to gain an extra place. Oh, might squeeze Williams onto the grass under braking. Let's see then. First time I've noticed PS5 guys dominating. Brilliant. Mathew still coming under pressure. Williams still under pressure, putting Richie Michelle under pressure with Milliston right there. And then nobody else out there at the moment. So let's go back to Mathew Sokolov fight, because that's the one that's the closest one at the moment. what have we got? 1:33, so there'll be one lap left after this. Klaas is... he's not winning it by a country mile. You know, it's only 4 seconds. A small mistake for Klaas could put Alexandrov right on the back of him, but he's been comfortable, been in control for sure, has Klaas tonight. Been really in control. It's been a good drive. Milliston's got past both Williams and Michelle. Michelle's also lost out to Williams. Just not the night tonight from these for Richie Michelle. But yeah, Klaas has been in a world of his own as he starts the final lap of this race. Great stuff from him. Mike started to pull away from Sokolov a little bit, although that won't help with a bit of a slide through Ascari there. Richie Michelle and Brandon Williams still duking it out. Milliston's cleared them by a little bit. But yeah, you have to tip your hat to Klaas tonight. The server will change to Alton pretty much straight after this race, because while I'm doing interviews and finishing SimGrid and other bits, Mike sorts the server out. The drivers coming around to start the final lap of their race, unless they're already on it. Mathew's little bit of pressure from Sokolov, but I think he's got enough of a buffer that Mike can just drive his line here. Same for Brandon Williams over Richie Michelle. Well, maybe not as much. Poor run there. Oh, Richie gives him a tap in the rear, and again, just be patient on the throttle out the corners. It's not difficult. It really isn't difficult. And if he'd have spun Brandon Williams around there, it's just another clumsy error. As now he looks to attack the back of Brandon Williams. Dives to the inside line. Is he going to think about doing it on the brakes? Into the second chicane, goes deep, pushes Williams off. Williams is going to hold position. Clumsy little errors from drivers tonight. Mackenzie in the chat, same story from last season. Season will start to unravel now. DC last week and DC tonight. Wheel DC tonight. Hopefully not for you, because you had a good start to the season. Right, Klaas comes around the final corner, and he's going to take the race win here. What a drive from the young man. Fantastic to see that Klaas takes the race win in the Gold Championship. Really helps, in the Platinum Championship, really helps his championship out here. That's a second place for Alexandrov. Marinic third, Pletzek fourth, Harris fifth with the fastest lap. McGowan's going to come across in sixth place. Matt Wright wins in gold and P7, only just off the back of McGowan at the end. Mike Mathew's going to hang on in there for P8 over Sokolov, it would seem. Sokolov in 9th, Milliston 10th, Brandon Williams 11th, Richie Michelle 12th. Maiger's going to come across for 13th place in second place in category, 13th place overall. Hibbs on the podium in 14th. DeCourt P15 from Cardno. Piras is going to come across for 17th place in this one. And then we just await for Vitas, who's not had a great night at all here as Vitas. Really not been on it at all tonight. Prestige we're just going to wait for as well. Where was Sokolov in this race? He was 9th. I'm just trying to input points. Michael Harris 5th with his fastest lap. Ian McGowan come across the line. We just wait for Jack McKenzie. McGowan crossed the line. P6, I believe he was. And then Brandon Williams, who has left the service. Well, I've got to wait till the end to put the laps, the data in. Because why not? Right. So Mackenzie was, Williams was down 11th, and then if we go down to the Gold Championship quickly and put the points there, Cardno was down in 16th, Matt Wright was up in 7th place, great result for him in this one. Hibbs on the podium as well, 14th place, good result for him. Piras down in 17th, Maiger was in 13th on the podium, Sam Williams not here tonight, Benny Varga down in 20th, Prestige 19th, Herendich not here, DeCourt come across the line in 15th. And that is that. Right. grab the headset and let's get it on ready to do the interviews. But so while I start the first interviews out, I am going to work out the drop scores at the moment. So who's in here for us to chat to first? Let's take a little butchers. Hibbs, we'll start with Hibbs, the only man who didn't actually have a race win out of the other three in it. Damien, first of all, solid result in race 2 because the Honda looked a little bit awful tonight.
Yeah, just a little bit. It seemed a monster in the straights. It seemed to be able to keep up with some other cars. And then down the start-finish straight, it's like I could almost pass them again. But in the corners, it was just terrible. And that the final chicane, it's not Oscari, is it?
Yes.
Yeah, that one there was just terrible. My speed through there, I think I must have caught so many people out because it just, if I touched any of the curbs, I was gone. But absolutely delighted with the result. Didn't expect it. Onto Alton Park for me. This race, I thought with the temperature was always going to be a really tricky one. So happy I made the best of what I could. I've just seen that Class 1 as well.
Indeed.
So yeah, great job to him. Matt Wright, obviously miles ahead of everyone else. Congrats to him. It wasn't a bad showing from me. Perez chasing me down at the end, which was he was a lot quicker than me. But I knew I had the speed on the straight, so I was sort of thinking if he does catch me, I can just get a good exit and keep him behind. But I think he had a mistake or something happened. I'm not too sure.
Yeah, it was an interesting one. Like I say, it just didn't look comfortable for you tonight. But you've dragged that result.
Oh no,
Alton Park should be much better. And before we mention Alton Park, the guy in the Porsche has got to stop sandbagging now, hasn't he? We've all seen this season what he's capable of. He really is just starting to just chuck the sandbags.
Who's in charge of the driver class? Because a race review, I think he should go up.
Well, it's funny that one that you say that, don't you? Because he's in charge of the driver class. But,
yeah.
No, we rib him, but we love him. No, Alton Park though should be a great track for the Honda.
I like Alton Park. It's a tight track, so obviously lap 1 is critical. But I do really like the circuit. I don't know if you remember my Pro-Am season, running around there with a McLaren. Absolutely loved that circuit. But it's just you got to get a good lap 1.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'll keep my fingers crossed I can do that. Hopefully, then I can have a clean race. The Honda last time I used it at Alton Park was pretty decent. So. Hopefully some cooler track temperatures. That's what I'm crossing my fingers for.
It is meant to be a bit cooler in the UK next week, thankfully. So,
you think?
Oh, probably not. So we'll see what happens. Damien, congratulations on the 3rd place. We'll see you next time.
Thank you very much. Cheers. Thank you all.
We'll move over to Marinich, who was 2nd place, 3rd place in race 2, I believe it was. 3rd place in race 2. Talk us through it, because you obviously lost that 3rd place right at the very end as well. So good night, podium. Good solid results, points in the bag for the championship.
Yeah, not a bad night overall. I lost that P2 because the car on this setup, because I'm driving wing 1, around 30 liters, when the rake changes, the car just becomes twitchy as anything. So I just completely lost it underneath me for a couple of laps. Made a couple of mistakes, and then Alexandrov was quick enough to get me there. But yeah, overall, first race I was P4, this one P3, so got a little bit lucky because I messed up quali. I feel I'm obviously a little bit excited about it, but don't tell him. But I feel bad for Millaston. He had a bit of a shitstorm tonight. Pardon my French.
Yeah, it wasn't his best night. Like you say, really good results, 3rd and 4th, solid for the championship. Alton Park, what can you do there? It's a very tight circuit. It's going to be about track position. What can you do at Alton Park?
Yeah, I'll just use the width of the beamer and not let anyone through. I just need to do better in quali than I did tonight. But yeah, we can get a good result. We did quite a bit of practice for the last season, so shouldn't be too hard to get back into it.
Indeed. Well,
I hope.
Well, congratulations tonight, buddy. We'll let you go and enjoy that one.
Cheers, boys. Congrats, guys.
And we'll speak to We'll speak to Mr. Sandbags himself, Matt. Right, 3rd place in race 1, 1st place in race 2, and a pole position in a Porsche that isn't quick in a straight line, but won on the Temple of Speed, which is all about straight line speed. Mr. Sandbags done it again, and gets my vote for Gold Driver of the Day because of it. Congratulations, first of all. Solid night of points. While Jimenez isn't here, Goude's not here, and Cardno seem to struggle. So a shed load of points for your championship. Just talk us through your race.
Who would have thought it, eh? Who would have thought it?
I mean, I think by now all of us, and if you know, I think even Hibbs has come accustomed to your sandbagging comments in the chat.
Well, you know, there was no sandbagging out there today.
No,
I was absolutely, you know, I was pushing as much as I could. The last 2 weeks, I think I've really started to sort of find my feet a little bit more with this Porsche, starting to understand throttle control with it a little bit, and that you've basically either got to be on the brake or on the throttle, otherwise you're going round. And I'm starting to get to grips with it now. Today was very welcome from what happened last week, to absolute shambles with disconnects and everything. But today it was quite nice. I was chasing Gowney down, but about 25 minutes on the second stint, I gave up with that. Gowney and Harris were just too quick in front of me, so then it was just a case of looking behind and managing that gap behind. And thankfully, I seemed to be right in the middle of no man's land. Everyone in front of me was too quick, and everyone behind me was slow. So it was good.
We head to Alton Park next week. What's your thoughts on Alton Park? Very bumpy circuit, as we know, and very tight. So what can the Porsche do?
Yeah, we'll have to see. I'd like to think it's quite good around there. Again, it will just be onto practice, and hopefully I can keep putting a bit of effort into the quali laps, and get myself a bit higher up to start with, and give myself a good chance at a high finish.
Well done tonight. Congratulations. We'll let you enjoy that one.
Thank you, mate.
And we'll speak to your race 1 winner, who, again, another man who was I've given driver of the day for, just because I didn't expect it to be as good tonight for him. Mike, been a while since you've won a race, and it was done on pure pace there as well.
I wouldn't say pure pace. I think it was more turn 1 carnage behind me that gave me a buffer that allowed me. I think quite generally I was half a second off the pace of the front runners, so pure pace definitely not. But no, I'll take the win. I kept it at the front and had a solid, clean race 1, so happy with that.
You didn't really have anything to do in that one other than just get to the end, get to your pit stop, and then get to the end of the race. As for race number 2, again, a solid drive. A little bit different, though. You was obviously under pressure from Matt. Looked like you decided to allow Matt to get through. And then you was under pressure at the very end. You was trying to attack Mackenzie, whilst you had Williams and Sokolov trying to attack the rear of you. Just talk us through that a little bit.
Yeah, they caught me by surprise behind. So I let Matt through because I had a wiggle at Ascari, and then instead of trying to get, I just went go, and I kept out the way and then got going. And he had the pace over me anyway. It was consistently tenths faster each lap, so there was no point me even trying to fight that. But then, yeah, hunting down Mackenzie, that Nissan, you can see why it's called Godzilla. I had to change my driving lines and everything to get the exit just to stay with it. It was crazy, the speed of it, and I was practically pushing him through corners, and then the next minute I looked up and like, there's a Mustang right behind me. Where have you come from? Because most of the race I was pulling from Brandon Williams behind me, but I had a nice 4-second buffer, and it just disappeared.
Yeah.
But that Mackenzie, great drive, hard racing. He nearly cut my nose off at the Parabolica, which I think you're seeing on stream. But no, just hard racing. He went deep. I tried getting up the inside, but he pulled up, came over enough to make me go, nope, I'll lift.
Yeah, indeed. Alton Park next week, your home circuit. What can you do?
I've had a mixed bag there, you know. So I've had some rubbish races. Generally, that's what I can have at most tracks. But I think was it last time we raced there, I come away with a fifth, and that was a reverse grid.
I remember a race you had
So
with Harris for the podium race win at the time when you was teamed with
yeah,
Dan as well.
so yeah, I've had some good. But the bonus is I'm good at defending, and it's a defender's paradise. That track, it's so narrow. You just sit it in the middle, and it's like if you want to go around me, fine, but you're dipping your wheels on the grass to do so. So yeah, it'll be interesting. It'll be a tough race, I think, all round, just to make positions up.
Well, congratulations on the win in race 1 tonight. We'll let you enjoy that one and get back to it.
Cheers, man. And great race, everyone. Cheers.
And we'll turn over to Class now, who a comfortable race 2 win, to say the least. You had to take the lead, though. You had to do some overtaking to get into the lead of the race, but a good, comfortable win in the end in race 2.
Yeah, race 2 was pretty boring, to be honest, except for turn 1 when a Lamborghini came in like a torpedo and knocked out the both drivers in front of me. So yeah, they probably got some damage, and it was pretty straightforward from then. Race 1 was a bit chaotic. After turn 1, my screen decided to turn off, and I was driving blind for 5 seconds. So I was shedding my pants, and I didn't know what to do. Do I brake? Do I let go of my gas? Do I turn right? Do I turn left? I didn't know what to do. And I just heard my force feedback go crazy, so I think I hit at least 5 people or something. I still need to check the replay, because I didn't know how many people I hit. But again, apologies to anyone I did hit, because I do think I hit some people.
Yeah.
And yeah, my car was also damaged, but I decided not to pit, which was a mistake maybe, because it was not fun driving with a broken suspension the whole 15 minutes. But I managed to finish the race, so I'm pretty happy with the P1, and race 1 is just one to forget a little bit.
Yeah, Alton Park though next week, going to be an interesting race. It's like I've said before, it's going to be about track position around there. What's your thoughts on it? What do you think you can do?
I think I can perform. The McLaren is pretty fast around there, so I think that should be fine if my screen doesn't turn off again. So I think I could get a decent result.
Well, congratulations on the race 2 win, but we'll let you go and enjoy that one. But that is it.
Thank you.
I'll quickly run through the championship standings as they stand provisionally at the moment, all before stewarding gets done. If you want to keep up to date with the classified championship standings, follow us on X, Instagram, Facebook, or be in the Discord server to keep up to date with the final classifications of the standings. Obviously, we'll read them out next week before the qualifying session or the reverse grid race. It's Marinich who leads, some 40 points clear of Milliston. Class is up into 3rd place with Vitas in 4th. Pletisek is 5th ahead of Ludovic. Richie Michel is 7th from Mackenzie. Mike Matthews jumps up into 9th with Sokolov 10th from Harris. Leger, Alexandrov, Davis, McGowan, Overtaker, Williams, Amigenda, Sorts, Ruck and France. In gold it is Matt Wright who leads the championship by 6 points from Thomas Cardno in that one at the moment. Hibbs is then some 36 points behind Cardno. Goudet is then a further 9 points behind Hibbs. So still a solid 4-way fight at this moment in time. Piras has moved up to 5th with Jimenez down in 6th. Maiga 7th from Williams, Varga, Prestige, DeCourt, Herendich, Vasic, Catini, Leach, Ramsel. And in the Constructors' Championship, it is BSH OZ Racing dominating the way, over 200 points clear from Greasy Bandits Racing. Team GBR are 3rd with Team SPR closing them down. SimPlay Racing are on the back of them as well. Richie's Corsa are P6 from 4Dave Racing. Balkan Esports P8 from Quantum Motorsport in 9th. Sleepy Lizard 10th. MMS in 11th. Balkan Simub, MSA Racing, BSH Spinners, BAL Racing and Road Runner Motors. But that is all we have time for this evening. Remember, we are hoping to be live on Saturday for the 6 hours of Donington Park endurance event, the final race of that season, brought to you by, hopefully, Alexa Marshall. But I'll be back in the box for Tuesday next week. Le Mans Ultimate returns for its penultimate round of the season at Fuji. We head back to Japan for one of our old favourite circuits of Fuji before heading back onto British soils for Alton Park. Reverse grid and the 60-minute feature race comes up for the Pro-Ams and the Pros. If you haven't already, check out the description below and go and check out Design Manchester on Facebook, the producers of vinyl graphics, laser engraved gifts, mugs, printed clothing and much more, including SimPlay Motorsport merchandise, as well as leave a like, subscribe to the channel if you are new, and hit that bell to be notified so you do not miss a moment of the action. But from me and the whole of the SimPlay Motorsport team, thank you for watching. We'll see you next time. Goodbye.
I'm not too bad at driving either, turns out. It's surprising actually. But to be honest, I think I just managed to kind of, like I said, I got caught in no man's land, and everyone behind me was sort of dropping off. Vitas was an absolute mess tonight.
Yeah.
And he barged his way through, and then I managed to get past him, and then he just slowed everyone down behind me, kept Miga behind me, and that just gave me free track, and I was just going out with nothing to do really.
Yeah, Vitas was weaving down the fucking straights and everything. He was so reckless.
Mm. God.
Oh, the guy's a fucking calamity.
What is Richie and Michelle doing?